Fogged? Hello?
Well, getting myself all situated to figure out what the hell is actually going on.
Fogged.
Were you not hearing me?
No, don't worry. But we hear you now. We hear you loud and clear. So what is going on? Or what, at least from what you can make of it so far here from the drafts.
Well, I was saying that I'm still catching up for myself right now. You know, I have a little bit of slow start this morning. I'm just jumping into this one, getting a look at what's going on here. I hear Kyle very confident, so I'm probably going to go against Kyle.
He was raving about the Enigma pick.
Looks pretty good. There's no BKB canceller. If this Enigma gets to a point where he actually has a free lane, it looks strong. Their draft also looks strong. Invoker is a pretty risky pick overall. I feel like their game has to be really solid in the mid game. When I just look at the Radiant side, Hippomaniacs, I see a lot of farm that needs to actually happen for them to really be able to fight, and I see the farm being better for Meta4Pro if they're able to actually sit back and get farm. So I think Hippomaniacs is under the gun a little bit to make stuff happen.
Yeah. I think one thing for me that's that I feel could go pretty rough for Hippomaniacs. It's got to be this mid lane, right? I mean, we've got Tanner standing in for Meta4Pro. I mean, you know, Tanner, he's not had a bad record, right? He's been on the likes of NIP, and he's played against some of the best mids in the world, and he's done all right.
Yeah, and it's a Void Spirit versus Invoker matchup, so it's a pretty damn good matchup for him just in general as the game will progress. Because he should just come out pretty far ahead, and then he should be able to make some good aggressive moves. I'm curious to see how Mambos does with this Exort build. Top lane, this is a really rough lane, though. For Wraith King and Clockwork, there's not a whole lot that either one of these two can do. So this one, they're going to really suffer. Tidehunter and Shadow Shaman, for me, are actually probably the two best heroes versus Wraith King. Maybe like a Mars and a Shadow Shaman could be a little better, but these two, you would just apply so much pressure from your high damage, your Gush, your Anchor Smash is just good versus Skeletons, too.
And then sort of down on the bottom, I mean, one of the reasons why Carl was liking the Enigma, he felt that the laning stage would be very strong. I mean, how do you sort of consider, because they were sort of split on that, the way that the Witch Doctor is able to lane against the Enigma. Would you consider the Witch Doctor good because he can deal with the Eidolons, or is he bad because he's dealing with the Eidolons but not necessarily the hero?
He's okay. He's not amazing, but the fact that they have Bloodseeker makes it a little better. At least as long as one of the two heroes can actually clear the Eidolons, I'm a little okay with it.
Sure.
Witch Doctor's not the most ideal, though. Definitely not. It's just decent. He's just a strong laner, so it's just nice to have the hero anyway up there. His top. We're seeing that pressure. Nice dogs.
He's going to get taken down there. Muff able to nuke him down. As that will be the first blood here for Hippomaniacs. I mean, dude, honestly, this is, I felt this was going to be one-sided, you know, as I say, you know, not to take anything away from Mambos, but again, you know, it's Tanner standing in. He's played on the tier 1 team, you know, NIP at the time, they're having some pretty good results back when he was on the squad, and in this sort of matchup, like this Void Spirit, and especially being a Void Spirit, this is the sort of hero that if you come in and you're having an edge in the lane, and you know you are probably the stronger player out of the 10 in the game, you can just rule the whole game on a Void Spirit.
You absolutely can. There is a Shadow Shaman to deal with you, though. That's one of the better heroes. These instant disables as top Tidehunter. He'll be just fine. And yeah, we did see this matchup the other day of, what was it, Stormstormer versus Malrine, I want to say it was?
Yeah.
And Malrine actually did unbelievably well. He was killing almost all the Forge Spirits that were summoned. He actually came out ahead in the lane. I think he got his TP. He stopped his TP himself or something, I remember. He walked back, and then he still came out ahead in the lane. So that's just showing that it's going to be a really tough one for Mambos and Tanner. He's gonna have extra last hits because of those Forge Spirits.
We should see some very quick item timings this game on Tanner. We'll see what he does rush. If he wants to rush that Orchid. Top lane. Actually able to get a kill back onto Muff here, the two of them. Caught a little bit away from the lane. And obviously with the two of them, they do have strong chase down with the Cogs Battery Assault. And Zach's able to get those hits in. There's mid lane. Tanner. Again, just... it's just getting bigger. 22 and 8 against the 10 for 2. That difference is growing by a mile.
Check the runes. Shadow Shaman goes top. Forge Spirit goes bottom. Rubik will check bottom for Tanner, and we'll see which one it is. Will Mambos be lucky? He will be.
He will. A little bit of mercy there from Gaben. I feel like, yeah, you don't want to give Tanner anything else in this lane. Otherwise, it's going to start looking pretty unfair if it hasn't already.
Nice cast bounces onto two of the Eidolons there. Bloodseeker, Blood Ray will be able to clean them up. And yeah, we're seeing, but top is definitely really getting owned though. This Wraith King not able to get a whole lot up here. He's getting levels though, and it's a Wraith King, so he'll be able to just back up, go to jungle, do his thing. He'll catch up.
I mean, that is the thing. At both side lanes, going very, very nicely for Hippomaniacs. They're dealing with the cores perfectly.
Yeah.
So definitely for Meta4Pro, they are going to look towards Tanner to, once he's hit the 6, maybe come in and try and even out these side lanes a little bit for them on Meta4Pro.
Up top, oh, Zactyl stunned a creep.
Did he?
He just clicked the stun on. He absolutely clicked the stun on a creep. Unless
They might lose Muff for at least. Zactyl, is he going to be able to get Muff? The Skeletons are going for it. Okay, he gets the kill. Hey, he didn't need to hit it at the start. Kill's still a kill. Down bottom though, a bit of a dive coming in from Curry and Senny. Trying to get in onto Keptas, but actually won't be able to get too far underneath the tower. We'll be able to swing across though, and that bounty rune is there, but Curry's actually not going to go check that. And
Curry gets cliff.
Oh, and he ends up on a cliff. Now, as he finds Tip out, has Zip Zapper got Malefice?
He walked into the silence. No, Zip Zapper. Mid lane.
I see Tanner getting aggressive as Manboss trying to hold him back. I mean, on the next round of cooldowns here, Tanner can definitely have a good shot of bursting through Manboss. So Manboss
still in the Forge Spirits every time it's summoned. Free money.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful, Manboss. As Dimbo was, of course, as the Exhort is going for that Midas, but it's not going to be very quick this game, of course, with the struggles that he's having. Runes again this time. They do have kept us keeping this safe for Tanner, and that's a beautiful one.
Beautiful.
This is pretty much a guaranteed kill mid or in the side. Like, wherever you want to make a move with this as a Void Spirit, you're gonna find blood.
And I'm feeling such concern for the Invoker. I'm hoping that they get something to work out of it, but I feel him going Midas also just plays into the hands of Meta4Pro. But Tanner, we'll see you make a nice move on him. And yeah, I hope I'm a little bit wrong about that, but I just feel like the farm game is not gonna go well for the Hippomaniacs side. When I see Wraith King, when I see Enigma, when I see Void Spirit, I don't see a hard transitioning carry or a hard transitioning like sieging or objective taking on Radiant. I'm worried as Muff. We'll get surrounded for a second, but they're actually turning.
Yep, they're going to bring Manboss in, have an extra bit of firepower to take down Vyacheslav. I'll be able to keep Muff safe this time.
I'll never be able to say that so smoothly. Vyacheslav. Vyacheslav. I gotta practice this.
Oh, we're seeing on our offlaners here, Zip Zapper. He's got his level 1 Necro book done.
They're both chilling. They both got their farm thing, one's got a Morbid Mats, one's got a Necro book, both doing the same thing.
Tanner.
The top, Tanner,
making
these moves.
Oh, Tipek has got the Ravage. He's teasing around with it, but he's probably not going to let it go, as he's dead for sure. He's going to make sure he holds it for a more aggressive moment. Tanner definitely making those moves you'd expect. It swings down to bottom. Does he get the core kill down bottom, of course, earlier? But still that extra bit of pressure. And now, as he made that move top, able to find the big old tide. And he's going to go for that Yules first, make sure that he's got that, of course, excellent way of setting up, keeping himself safe and making sure that he's got the mana to continue to make these
bottom.
moves. Curry.
The book's almost getting Senny, but Zip Zapper, he's kind of blocking himself and he will go down. And we see the top, all that effort that they put, the Tidehunter, the Shadow Shaman to shut down this Wraith King.
Yeah. It's
kind of been for naught. Zactyl, he's up at the top of the net worth now. He's able to just get all this sustained farm. They messed up a couple times. Muff, only level 3 now. The Tidehunter is 6, but giving up any of these kills, they start to add up. And then Wraith King, he's now going to back away. He's going to be able to do his jungle thing. And they're going to just get their farm on as their lineup wants to do. So they're even getting some invasion going. Clockwork, very strong at this point in the game. Versus the Witch Doctor, then Shadow Shaman. This hero, Clockwork is going to be very strong. Tanner.
And they've got the setup into the Sunstrike. Is it enough? No, not quite. It's Tanner. He's ready to fight back. Jumps in onto Muff. He's got another step to take him out to the side. And he's TPing out of the trees. Tanner gets the kill. And he gets out of there. They will lose, or maybe not with the stick charges. Vyacheslav. He's going to be able to keep himself alive with that stick. He's going to go for the deny to the Ancients. Yep, a nice juicy stack there of the Ancients will allow him to easily take his own life.
Little over-aggressive there by Tanner, putting himself in the Clockwork in a bit of a deep position. But yeah, this Clock has very good potential to rotate to any of these lanes right now. The Witch Doctor, the Shadow Shaman, all very, very vulnerable if you get caught in cogs. Even Tidehunter can be. It's definitely a really good game that they've set up for this clock in these later stages. It's a 5-position clock, so he's very poor, but he actually can do a lot.
We'll see Mambos start to climb his way back into the game now with that Midas done.
Yep, he's got the level 8 too, so double Forge Spirits online. He's actually very strong in his singular lane. Once he's got boots, he can start making like slight moves around, but mostly he wants to just sit in mid and force the lane in.
See, both teams prepared for some action down here on the bottom lane as Zip Zapper is bringing the push in. See if they can get any sort of setup here between Muff, Curry, and Seni.
It looks like they're going to try. He's pretty far forward.
He's dropped the Rupture onto Zip Zapper. There's a lot of Eidolons and Summons there helping Zip Zapper hold his ground. The Sunstrike will come down, and with the Maledict, Zip Zapper's gone. They're able to take out the Enigma. They'll turn now over towards the Clockwork. Vyacheslav is a little too speedy for them to chase, though, as he's able to walk away from this. Tipek not wanting to commit the Ravage for the Clock, so
nice
still
move.
Holding on to that.
That's a little aggressive move. They put the ward down. They see all the supports by the rune, so they see that the Enigma is just way too far out of position. A quick Rupture. And they even bring the Tide. I like that they actually just swing Tipek just in case, you know, if things did go down. So distributing their resources. They're going to start to get a little bit out farmed. As we said, you know, Wraith King naturally just will be able to get that farm.
Yeah, we've got... what have we got coming out? Not quite the... I mean, once the Maelstrom's there for Curry, I guess he's going to be able to keep up a little bit, but yeah, still not to the same pace that the Zactor's going to be hitting his items, especially with this straight Gloves of Haste into Radiance this game.
And it's a Wraith King too, so he's always got the comfort of second life, comfort of always people being able to come help him. Bloodseeker, a lot more risky, so they're actually going to rotate Curry top. He has Rupture available. They want to keep him active. I think this is the right choice. I think Hippomaniacs has to play just a little bit more active. This passive game, it's not going to feel good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You see Tanner and Vyacheslav already setting up, looking for the move.
Oh, they've got that 6. Hookshot at the ready. Mambos, of course, would be the juicy catch it.
Yeah. Probably want to rotate a +1. Maybe rotate Keptus over, as Keptus just hits level 6 too, so he has a whole nother window of abilities that he can do. Yeah, they're going to swing top, trying to find the rotation of these supports. Ooh. Smoking right past each other. Now Curry's left alone top.
He's completely alone here as he's trying to push out. Tipek's TPing over, but he's not going to be able to get here nearly in enough time. As an easy pick off there onto Curry.
The two supports, they smoked by the secret shop and went mid. They just ditched him.
They were looking
they dropped the wards mid.
To make their own moves, yeah.
Yeah. That's a very painful move though. Curry just TP top. He dies. Now bottom is getting pushed. You drop your Serpent Wards mid to try to get some damage on it, which is decent, but it's gonna get cleaned up.
Trying for a bit of setup there onto Mambos. I mean, it's enough to allow the hookshot to come in. They've caught the two of them in the cogs. Both Muff and Mambos caught out. The Ravage will catch the four of them. An excellent Death Ward and cast there. Bouncing up to the high ground. Takes out Zip Zapper. Tanner has to use the Astral Step to get away. Zactors come in to try and get involved. He's able to crit down Muff. So we'll find 1 kill in return. But that Ravage from Tipek making this fight look very good. And Tanner stuck around, allows himself to be ruptured, tries to jump away. But the rupture damage will do it. Taking out Tanner. As Hippomaniacs hold that fight perfectly there with the Tide.
I mean, beautiful Ravage from that far left, actually clipping everybody. Enigma TP'd into his death. Zip Zapper just gets full combo. And Tanner stuck around. He just gets ruptured at the end of the fight. Bit painful for him, and exactly what Hippomaniacs needed to do. That death on Curry top was pretty devastating, and then that makes up for all of it. Getting the tower, getting themselves a nice successful fight. Right after bots, Midas, everything finished up for Invoker too. So Mambos,
yeah, Mambos
he's at the top of the chart.
He is. That sort of early game, that advantage in the lane that Tanner had, it's slipping away. He's got to keep the action coming, and he's going to try. Down bottom. They've got the setup onto Curry. And have they got the burst? Yes, they do. With Vyacheslav swinging in with a hook shot, they'll take him down. Seni, he wanted to come in to try and help out. We do have Mambos in the trees as well, but Keptas, he's looking for him. Mambos will reveal himself with the tornado. He's going to pop the Ghost Walk in an attempt to get out. Sentries are dropped down, but Mambos is out of range. So Mambos will get away.
That was very scary for Mambos as well. They're going to be able to turn this into a quick tower push with the book too. Wraith King got the relic finished up during that time. They're going to split push up top with the Serpent Wards.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Now, they will be able to find the trade here by the looks of it. Tipek and Muff.
Yeah.
That's done on Tipek. Curry, how's he doing still? Yeah, trying to get this Maelstrom finished.
He's fallen behind. He's fallen quite far behind now. All these deaths, they hurt him much more than any of the deaths on the side of Meta4Pro. It's a Bloodseeker. This hero, it's not the same as a Wraith King where you're just going to naturally farm and build up. You need to get this momentum swinging for yourself. It's a very big concern. As mid,
Tipek. He's TP'd in. They're waiting for him, but at the same time, he's good to go. Drops the cast, the Maledict, and the Death Wall. Vyacheslav's taken out. And the rest of Meta4Pro have to back off.
I love Witch Doctor. One of the few supports that you can just kill anybody. You get a couple good you're just gonna kill somebody. Doesn't matter who it is. If they mess up at all. And now Ravage will be back up, so they can keep trying to hold this mid tower, get themselves that farm, get themselves Curry the space that he needs.
How's Zactyl doing? Just a few hundred away from that Radiance, so
he's looking
timing.
Good. Yep, he's looking real good. Zipzapper is about to have his book 3 too, so that he can continue pressuring it. The power also of the book 3, this is why I really like the Enigma versus Tidehunter matchup even more than I used to.
Yeah.
Is in this early stages of the game, sure, you know, Black Hole and all that is amazing because he can't crack and shell it, but you just throw this book on him, couple hits, and a lot of these times the Tidehunter's mana is going to be very impacted.
Oh, that's very, very true. And then
very strong.
It makes the game hard for Tipek in the sense that if he wants to use that Ravage, he's going to have to use it early. Otherwise, he's not going to have the option to do so after a few seconds of being on the front line. So, can force him to make some rash decisions, yeah.
Like all these little things, like little mana burns do really bother Tidehunter. He does have a good, you know, he has the Fated Brooch, so he's got a good influx of mana, but still, it could be problematic for him if he's not careful. So they do have Curry with the Maelstrom finished up, still looking at a pretty decent timing. Point booster also on the Invoker. He's going to be going for Ags. And since they have the Wombo combo with the Tidehunter, that's definitely a good choice. The Cataclysm
the way to go.
Pretty devastating.
For sure. Rupture.
Ooh.
Down on an illusion here. Unfortunately for Curry.
Is the Radiance up on the... Yeah, Radiance is up on Wraith King. So Zactyl is fight ready.
They do have Ravage prepared, though, for the fight around the pit if it comes.
They do. The book is starting to be sent in, though. Zipzapper's going to start poking and prodding them. Tipek, watch out for your mana.
Yeah, they're jumping in already on him. It's going to be a bit of an awkward start here unless Tipek's able to keep his distance. Will be able to do so, so still has the mana to play with. Meta4Pro starting to force Hippomaniacs away from the pit. Can't quite get in there themselves, though. As they know with that Ravage up, Hippomaniacs having just as fearful of a team fight around that area as they do.
Yeah, they don't mind any time where they're able to just back up and farm, like we were saying. Meta4Pro, they're about the later stages of the game. Even if they're versus this big Wombo combo, I think they're still confident in their Enigma. They're still confident in their Wraith King, who's getting all this space and farm.
Now we see there on the charts here, Curry versus Zactyl. As Zactyl's just had sort of a smooth progression in farm, but the last few minutes, Curry just struggling to find places, and yeah, can't do it as nearly as fast as this hero.
Yeah, Wraith King, even though Wraith King had what you could say was the worst lane, he just goes back and just is able to catch up in no time. It's just nature of the hero. As a nice smoke rotation, this could actually catch Meta4Pro off guard. Zipzapper on the low ground. He's clearing some wards. They're getting a perfect wraparound on him.
There we go.
But here comes Tanner.
And they can't quite close in on them. They will turn to Tanner instead, though. Set up with the Hex, Ravage out, into the Shackles, Sunstrike down, cast bounces across. It's not enough, though. Tanner's able to jump to the side. They will lose one of them at least. And Tanner, he does get taken out. Rupture in him before he comes out with the extra step. A stolen Ravage will allow them to get Curry in return. Can they get Tipek as well? Here's Zactyl. He's trying to chase him down, but a cast sent out holds him back momentarily. Another stun's out there, though, with a Wraith Fire Blast. Tipek end up killing himself on the Necro books. Zactyl is getting low, but he's still got more than enough mana to pop the Reincarnate if it even gets forced out of him, and it won't. I mean, Hippomaniacs, not a bad start to that fight there. Getting Tanner on his way out with the Rupture, but we're now starting to see with that Radiant, Zactyl can turn up. They can't quite kill him. Beautiful steal from Keptas with the Ravage, and suddenly Hippomaniacs are losing just as much as they were able to take away from Meta.
It's a beautiful steal. Really salvages the fight there. As It looked like it could go bad. Tanner, he almost gets away too. It was split second that he does get ruptured. Look at that. I mean, that you have to.
I mean, it's one of those comical ones, isn't it? Just seeing Void Spirit astral step to his bloody death. Yeah.
That was a good one. So still, the location of the fight as well is pretty good for Meta4Pro. They get to back up. They split. They still have like everything available too. Wraith King, as you said, didn't have to use his ultimate. Enigma still has his too, and Zip Zapper. All this time being built up, as you know, as I've been kind of talking about it, is they're waiting to get a little bit more farm because they can build the next big item on the Enigma. When he gets it, he's gonna be the king of the fights. If he gets this BKB online for a Zip Zapper, he'll be God mode. But the only thing he'll have to actually worry about is the Cataclysm then, because then he can start his Black Hole channel. He'll get hit by a Cataclysm,
that's true.
Perhaps die.
That's true.
There's a few other things.
Cataclysm hurts. That's. I mean, how much damage is the Cataclysm? I mean, how much of that HP will it be of his? I guess what's got the BKB? Like, he's going to be okay, but it's going to be a large amount.
It'll do like 12, 13. If it's just him that it connects with the two,
if it hits him
1350, 1400-ish. Because Fairy Trinket also, I don't remember exactly the math on with Fairy Trinket and Max Exort, but it's like 1300, 1400-ish. So he should be fine. He can also put items. He can put units on himself. Like he can protect himself. So it's the BKB should reign supreme for Meta4Pro when they're able to get that one. And I'm still feeling this pressure on Hippomaniacs to get things going. The Tide Under the Bloodseeker's starting to fall behind. Mambo's still very farmed, but with what they're up against, you know, Invoker is a very risky hero. He needs to now also have his own BKB to protect himself because he's going to get focus fired so hard by Tanner in all these fights. And Tanner, he's going to rush. He's going to have his Ags nearly done, which is going to make Mambos' game very hard. I
mean, if Mambos can get the BKB and a refresher orb, then he can carry it, right? Because the double Cataclysm will wipe the team, right, on top of a Ravage.
Only wipe them the once, though. That's the thing. Because, right, Wraith King, he'll come back. So it feels tough. I feel like they need to get this Roche advantage to be able to take these fights. Because it doesn't feel like it's going to get easier for them as the game goes on. Unless they get some gorgeous jumps from Tipik with his Blink Dagger.
Hang on.
It doesn't feel easy.
Are we going to get a hook shot from Vyacheslav?
Oh.
Does he try for it? He scouted it. Senny's blocking
Tanner sees it too.
They're blocking it off. Tanner's trying to jump in. He's elevated the jump. He gets the kill and he gets the Aegis. Tanner!
And then there's Mambos.
Perfectly timed. They do have a Ravage. They try and turn things around. They will get Vyacheslav and they'll take the Aegis out of the hands of Tanner. But they've lost the Tide. They've lost the Invoker. They're going to lose Senny as well as Tanner jumps across with his Assimilate. And pretty much a frame perfect Roshan kill steal and Aegis steal there from Tanner as he gets both.
And they instantly detonate Mambos in the pit, and insult to injury kept to Steel's Ravage after all of it. So a devastating win for Meta4Pro as Hippomaniacs hit the deck.
Yeah, that was some of the best Roshan sniping you'll get to see there. Perfectly timed. Gets it all there. Scouted out by Vyacheslav, making the move. Committing the, you got to be confident when you do that as well. Committing both astral steps. He's in.
So perfect. Yeah. Good time. It was like the perfect timing from everyone. Zactyl runs in as the hook shot comes in, as they're all running in. See that beautiful Cask and Ravage combo, but the fight's over at that point. And now, with this big advantage, they are so comfortable to just swing around the map, and they have Ravage for this next upcoming fight. So Hippomaniacs will not have that ready for another 80 seconds. It's devastating.
Oh my goodness, and they're smoking up for it. Meta4Pro. 8k lead now. Whoa, they found a Witch Doctor.
There's no way Hippomaniacs can fight. There's no BKB on anyone. None of their cores have BKB. They're just going to swing across on Meta4Pro and just kill after kill after kill right now. They have to just full run away on Hippomaniacs.
We've got to see some insane cataclysms.
I think they're going to need more than just that. How much health is everyone's so tanky, actually. That's the thing, too. Is the Rubik will die.
Get to see it again. Boom.
Yeah, beautiful. They did it perfect. You couldn't have asked for better.
I mean, because who on Radiant was actually able to hit the rush? It was just the wards, right? Because Invoker was stunned.
Curdy was way too low. He couldn't go in there. Yeah, there's no one else who could really do it. They just felt forced to do it because I think they're feeling the looming pressure of the game. It doesn't feel like they can win any fights if they didn't have an Aegis. I think that's the biggest thing that's going through their heads. Because even being in the Roche there is risky. It's super risky for them. It's a desperate move.
I mean, and if this was any other hero than a Wraith King, it would definitely feel like it would be a bit like they could still have a good shot of winning fights. It really is, as you say, just the fact that you're against a carry that's going to have that second life, and And your method of killing heroes right now, it is just drop the combo on them. You know, you don't have sort of sustained damage. You haven't got this right-clicking carry is ready to go ham in the fights because, you know, Curry, he is far behind. He's not got the BKB. Maybe if he had the BKB, you could argue he can stay on a target. But right now, without the BKB, he can't do such a thing. You know, they're not going to be able to kill this Wraith King twice unless he's completely away from the rest of his team, which is unlikely to happen because Meta4Pro know how strong they are right now grouped up.
Yeah, they have a pretty impossible game now for the next, what feels like, oh man, at least the next 4 minutes. The fights are absolutely impossible because they have Ravage for at least 2. They also have BKB Enigma. Even getting outside their base feels difficult. It really feels like this is going to be their demise in the next 5-10 minutes. It doesn't feel like they'll be able to do much of anything. So hopeful to get some nice Cataclysm cleanups on a couple of these heroes, but very unlikely. I think the collapse and the surround is going to happen very quick.
Yeah. I mean, because, yeah, they can kill them. You know, there's a chance they kill everyone else apart from the Wraith King, but the Wraith King just kills them a second time. Because if they maledict into Cataclysm, like, you're dead, right? You can't save yourself against that.
For sure.
That will kill anyone.
But the fight's collapsing on you, so it's hard to get your abilities off all perfectly. You don't have Ravage for some time too, and then it's like a blinking Wraith King in your face, a Clockwork Hookshotting, a Void Spirit jumping on you. There's so much chaos in the fights now at this point, and you're so far behind. You're gonna miss your spells. You know, you're just gonna whiff them, or you're gonna cast them onto a BKB core because there is 2 BKB cores on Meta4Pro as well. So, yeah, game's just getting close to the end for the poor Hippomaniacs.
Oh, what we got going on here? Oh, looks like Meta4Pro's ready to go. We're just waiting for Hippomaniacs to get the go-ahead.
Yup. How you doing, on?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. How are you? How's the snow at the moment over there?
It's good, it's good. We don't have that. We still have like a decent amount outside, but I don't think we're getting another storm for a bit. It's good.
All right. Did you find out what you broke the other day?
Okay, it wasn't. I don't think it was us who broke anything. I checked. Daniela checked. I think it came from our neighbor because a little bit after the game ended, we also heard their vacuums and stuff turning on. Our apartment actually has pretty good soundproofing, but they must have dropped something quite large.
Yeah, we heard the whole stream heard it. Yeah, we heard it.
Yeah,
that was a definite smash.
I was super scared because I'm like, when I'm casting too, especially I get really into the game, so I only see my monitors, you know, my peripherals don't exist. So I don't see if the cat's going and knocking over glasses or some shit like that. And I thought that's what happened. I was so scared he hurt himself, but thankfully not. And thankfully, the game is unpaused.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's see what sort of moves we get next here on the top laners. They are kind of out. As Curry's going to be able to step forward. Get the rook on the... I mean, with the Serpent Ward block, it kind of worked.
Tanner.
It killed the one of them. There's the Ravage coming out. Onto them to set up for Curry. We'll see the rest of them. I mean, Tipek and Mambos, I don't think they can really poke back at this with just the 2 of them up. I mean, it nearly worked there. The Serpent Wards into the Cataclysm. Not quite enough damage to kill Tanner, though. Getting Vyacheslav's nice, but obviously it's these cores that they really need to be killing here, Hippomaniacs, and not quite enough damage with the burst of the Cataclysm.
And that's what I figured kind of was going to happen. You know, Meta4Pro is just going to dive the hell out of them because they're so much stronger at this point. They've got Ags, Void Spirit, they've got Blinks, BKBs, etc. They're just going to jump on any target they see as Hippomaniacs. They've got no way to protect themselves. Curry's just so underfarmed, really. He just no BKB. These few deaths that he had early on completely crippled his game. As you see Senny, a quick, easy kill.
Just losing people outside the base here now. Hippomaniacs is getting a little messy. Bottom. Oh, Vyacheslav off the mark. Not quite getting the read on Mambos there. Mambos is
okay. So, question, Owen. Yes. Will we get a black hole by the end of the game? Will Zipzapper actually be forced to cast it at all? He might not. I don't think he has to.
He hasn't so far.
He hasn't so far. He hasn't really given the opportunity. They actually did a great job of controlling him throughout these fights. It's everything else.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't needed to. I feel like at this stage, if he's going to use the black hole, he's going to use it more as a tool to say, hey, pop the Ravage on me. You know, try and get them to blow some of their control on the Enigma rather than Curry and Tanner running them down.
that's the beauty of this hero now. It's really just this incredible laning monster, and then the book is your hero. You know, your book and your Malefice is pretty much everything. And Midnight.
Oh, mid.
Fights is tied.
Tippek.
Not as tanky anymore.
He's still able to get out of there. A bit of a whip coming out for Steady to help him run his way away from the Wraith King, and he'll manage to do so momentarily, though, as Zaktor's just staying on target. He's not going to be able to chase any further, as they will manage to get Tippek safely back to base.
The whip is, you know, anti-mage mana burn might have been one of the best sound effects for a very long time. The whip is bringing up a close argument, I got to be honest with you. Whipping your teammates is pretty fantastic.
Meta4Pro, I think they know themselves that they don't need to go for anything too crazy with these pushes. They can chill out, that they're always going to be farming much more of the map than Hippomaniacs are able to right now, as they're very much having to sit in their base. They're going to try and come out with a smoke.
They need a huge Ravage.
I mean, it gets the two of them into the Cataclysm. On about Tanner and Zipzapper. They take down Zipzapper. See if they can get Tanner here as well. The Hex is out. That'll do it. Tippek able to find that jump. And 2 cores, honestly, being 10k or so down as they were, you couldn't really ask for more. That's exactly what they need.
No, that was absolutely beautiful. Get the lanes out now is the next hope. Get your farm. You're not going to be able to really take advantage of too much here.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can catch a lowly support just out of position, maybe you could get something else, but no, you're just going to reclaim your outpost. You have 27-minute items to farm, so maybe just clean up those and get yourselves in a good position and get some nice wards down. Get some sneaky wards down, because if you can keep connecting these 2 to 3-man Ravages with the Cataclysm, you have inklings, you have hope of maybe coming back in this game at least. Still going to take a lot, because Wraith King has double the net worth of the Bloodseeker, so it's still very unlikely, but they can at least try to get these hitbacks, and that's an optimistic play to look forward to.
I mean, for Manboss, I mean, what is the item that he gets to try and, you know, be the carry? Of course, with Curry falling behind. Okay, he's just going to get the Hex, so we're not going to see any sort of sexy refresher Cataclysm plays quite yet.
No, Hex is really good. You're playing versus Void Spirit.
Yeah.
Anytime you have you're versus one of those mobility cores, getting that is going to be just good, just great. Even though they have Shadow Shaman, it's just an extra instant disable. But he could go for the refresher. You know, that's if you want to just be the big boom. He wants to have a more longing presence than just clicking 2 buttons.
Blink picked up by Zipzapper. AC finished on.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're ready to close this one out.
Yeah. This is
no more funny business.
Probably the items they're waiting for.
Yeah, now Zipzapper can confidently Black Hole. Now he can BKB, Blink, Black Hole, any targets that he wants, and he will get it off.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And who would you say is looking to BKB Black Hole in this? Are you just sort of looking like at the Invoker and saying, well, let's stop this man from being able to follow up these combos with the Cataclysm? Now, what's
anyone really? Tidehunter's a great target too. Yeah. If he just sees multiple targets, any two that he wants. But Tidehunter is definitely one of the higher values, since he can't crack in it, and then you can just full combo him during it, and he's in Midnight Pulse and all that. So, but if he can catch any of 2 cores or any +2+ heroes, then just go for it. They can't stop it, so they will die during it.
Honestly, Muff trying his best to push out the bottom. Did manage to get the top lane pushed all the way around, so Meta4Pro are going to have to take a bit of time swinging that background if they want to try and siege up here.
Did anyone... I'm surprised Curry actually did not pick up his shard yet. I saw him... I got the Yasha. I think next he should buy the shard. It's one of your better upgrades just for straight damage when you're playing versus like Wraith King and stuff like that. I mean, he's so far behind, so maybe not, but...
I mean...
I was just checking around to see if anyone actually purchased shards. No one actually has a shard this game.
I mean, I think when you sort of look at what Meta4Pro have, you know, he's definitely... There's definitely going to be a chance that he would be thinking about that, because the extra HP from that, the SMY and status resistant, you know, that doesn't matter too much as long as he's able to pop the BKB right. He pops the BKB there. Unless this Wraith King's just having, you know, punch after punch into his face, he's going to be able to survive in these team fights, and yeah, the upgraded Blood Rage could certainly make a difference.
It's going to be hard for him no matter what, honestly.
Sure.
These fights are going to be so impossible. Because he's just gonna. There's too much. There's still so much damage that is gonna be getting applied through that BKB anyway. Sure, he's got 26 armor, but Wraith King's hitting hard. Midnight Pulse is in the fight. You know, Astral Steps coming through. Hippomaniacs. It's still gonna be very difficult for them. They have to start the fight with taking out 1 or 2 heroes of the Ravage to have any hope. Even then, it still will be hard. Even if they're like, even if literally like the 2 supports are just dead, the Clocker and the Rubik, the 3 cores on the side of Meta4Pro will easily carry the fight. So still a massively uphill battle. As now Tenor has an Arcane Rune and a fresh BKB to play.
He's in. He's trying to find Muff. Muff will get forced to the sky. Cataclysm is going to be dropped, as well as the Maledict down into Vyacheslav. I mean, he's very dead. So they will blow up the clock with that.
90 seconds, no Cataclysm.
That's it's a big combo to blow for the clock alone.
I don't think he got hit by either of the Sunstrikes.
I don't think he did. Yeah, I think
both.
Yeah, indeed, it was just really the output from the Witch Doctor. Bit of punches there from the Invoker, but no Cataclysm actually connecting. As we'll see.
Mambo switches his build a little too. He goes for the Shiva, and yeah, we see it.
I mean, that was so close to hitting. I mean, it didn't matter. He died anyway, but he must have been right on the edge of where that would have connected.
Roche spawns. Full map control for Meta4Pro, easily make their way into this one, but Hippomaniacs.
I mean, yeah, with the Ravage, they could try something.
They don't have Cataclysm.
That's true, there's no damage. All they can really hope for is to get in, stun them, and like steal the Aegis. They're unlikely to get kills here.
30 more seconds until Cataclysm.
Yeah.
They see Mambos pushing up bottom right now too. He has bots though, so he can join, and he's gonna commit. He's gonna buy the Shivas, it looks like. So longer survivability throughout the team fight rather than getting like an instant catch on the Void Spirit.
And this Roche is gone. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to fight here. They don't contest this. Aegis is picked up. DD as well, waiting in the river for the next fight.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, DD and a Basher too. So he's gonna one-shot somebody. Shadow Shaman. Muff, run away.
And they've got to be fully prepared for this. They've got their combo good to go. SMY now done on Curry.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So crazy that I see all these Wraith Kings do the same thing too. They just, at some point, they always backpack their boots or get rid of them for some time because this 30 movement speed talent they get at 20. I've seen like all the Wraith Kings are doing it too lately. You've got enough mobility.
No, that's very true. Very true.
Because even toward later stages, we had some of those games where it's like 50 minutes, they have this Rapier, and they have no boots. They just have like Abyssal Blade as their mobility. Abyssal and Blink.
Well, that's it. Especially if you're able to get the Swift Blink at that stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need boots. You're moving at fast enough speed with the buff alone. Oh, no.
The DD.
He's pretty dead. Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Harvest their bones.
Not much hope for any of these heroes, really. Standing next to the Wraith King. No. Even the Bloodseeker's going to take maybe half his HP pool in a hit. Invoker, the only one really having any chance with that Shiva's Guard that he has finished.
Hey, at least Curry has an Elven Tunic. Maybe he'll dodge these.
That's true. Bit of evasion.
And they actually do get a nice EMP onto Zactyl. He does have a full wand, and he has already queued up the Shard. I think he was expecting this. Yeah, he brings it out right away, just in case of any funny business.
Got the combo, Hippomaniacs. They do kind of need the Witch Doctor, though. The Maledict has been quite a key component in getting the kills. The burst.
Just having any vision in the back, too. Just they need to be able to see this Rubik, see this Enigma, so that they can actually catch them inside the combo, because we've seen Keptus a couple times now this game. He's just chilling in the back. He's been quiet this game as this Rubik, but he's been impactful. 1-0 and 8, 2 Ravages stolen. He's had a great time. And now it's easier. That's the thing, is with the new Rubik versus these big ultimates, you have such an easy time stealing them because you're so far out of the fights. Such crazy cast range.
And we saw Hippomaniacs try and make moves earlier from the base despite being behind with the smoke. We'll see if they come out again or if now that they really do feel that they've got to play the waiting game here on the high ground. Tipek, they want to try and go for this. They're heading out. Cataclysm's going to be dropped down. Vyacheslav will fall, but Zactel is able to kill off Muff. See the rest of the team trying to come in with the backup on Meta4Pro. There'll be a buyback from Muff. Can they get Zactel 2 times? So that's the question. They're able to lock him down into the blood right. They'll bring him down the once. Can they do it again? As they're trying to get over, but he's out with the blink. Not able to put a stop to it after he's able to freely blink after the reincarnate. As they won't be able to get him.
Pretty good hit, though. They didn't have to really commit anything big. Serpent Ward, sure, but Serpent Wards at this point are kind of whatever. They didn't have to commit any huge spell to actually kill him. Cataclysm will be back up in about 45 or so. So they will have that for the big combo as long as they can hold off these catapults that are coming in now. So not too bad. I was going to say, actually, I kind of want to see Mambos also get the ice wall, the shard, so that he can cast these ice walls from really far in the fights, because the ice wall is actually really strong versus Wraith King at most stages of the game. Sure, he has BKB, but it's not always going to be available, so I definitely want him to go for that too, so he can just stay in the back lines.
No, that's true. Well, that's... I mean, but BKB against ice wall still works in the sense that if you're in the ice wall and you press BKB, you're still going to be slowed, right? It doesn't remove it.
No, it removes it now.
It does remove it now.
Yep. There was a long time.
That's a bit more balanced than I was going to say.
Really OP.
It used to never. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to remove it with BKB. Then
well, there's also the Deafening Blast where your disarm doesn't get removed from the BKB. So there's some annoying interactions that definitely come out from Invoker, but he should be able to play around it.
Yeah.
As 25 is hit on Wraith King. Up to the high ground he goes.
See what they can do to slow him down.
That is such a risky play from Mambos. I feel like in that situation, Zip Zapper should just blink BKB Black Hole in Invoker if he goes for those
just getting too close. Plays.
They had 3 heroes just stacked on the Invoker there. That is an incredibly risky play. They have to be way more careful on Hippomaniacs how they position themselves there. Like, to just proc an ulti on a Wraith King, that's how you cause that's how the devastation comes. But they will at least live to see another day, as Meta4Pro will have the Aegis reclaimed, and they will back up for a moment.
Oh, it's a nice one here for Zactel. Finds himself the Penta Edge Sword. Well, he's got his Spell Prism as well for Tanner.
Those are some nice pickups. The Dream. Those the two best items I think they could have found right now.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Spell Prism and Penta Edge. I mean, what's sort of up there for this lineup?
Telescope, Timeless Relic, one of those two for the...
Timeless Relic's nice. They don't really... do they have the greatest hero for that in terms of increased debuff durations? It's not like...
They have Rubik.
Oh, that's true, sorry. Yeah, they've actually got one of the best heroes for it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Rubik is indeed... He would love a Timeless Relic. That is very true.
They'll have time to be able to farm these, while Hippomaniacs does not have time to be able to farm out their neutrons. There's smoke inside their base. They cannot get out, as the tower top will go down to just some Eidolons.
Okay, Keptas, he's got his BKB now, so he'll have even easier time.
Oh my god.
Stealing the
and then he always will steal Ravage.
Yeah, he just BKB and steal. Easy.
Just BKB run in.
Doesn't matter if he's on top of you. As long as you're quick enough, of course, with the BKB.
It's such a it's just such a different time than it used to be with the Rubik versus Tidehunter. You used to you used to have to do it like perfect as the tentacles are coming to steal the Ravage. It's so easy now with all this castery.
Oh!
That's a jump. Abyssal done.
He's in. The Ravage will come in on the back lines. They're looking for Tanner, but there's Zip coming in. He's going to blow the Black Hole to control the Tide. They've got the damage to crit down the Shaman. They'll bring down Tipek. Tipek will buy back, but already Tanner into the base. Stuns down onto Curry. Curry's trying to run. Whoa, the evasion! It saved him.
It worked.
It actually worked there. The Tunic will keep Curry alive, and now they turn with the Death Ward. They take him down the once. Meteor's coming down for the second round. He's trying to run away. Zips up and jumping in onto the back again. Tanner's in with the Dissimulate. Takes out Seni. The Cogs will control and take down Tipek. As this dieback there on the two of them. They're in over towards the Invokers. Mambos will fall. He'll buy back, trying his best to help out Curry, but Curry getting chain stunned. The Malefice holding him down. He's also got a buyback available as he now comes in to try and help out Mambos, but Mambos dies under the tier 4s, and they'll call it. GG, well played, as Meta4Pro will take this game 1, finally being able to put it to an end.